Yes, I have a Samsung. Shut up. And it's pretty classist of you to point that out, frankly. Actually, I wanted to make this video as an apology to Harry Styles personally. So here's a little background between me and Harry. As is well documented, I am and have always been a big time Rush girl. So when One Direction came on the scene, I was a little defensive, but beyond being a big time Rush fan, I am a notorious in-law. I'm quirky, I'm different, I'm not like other girls. But I eventually came around to the One Direction deal mildly. I was never like a huge fan. The frick? Oh, I had to take my allergy medication. I eventually came around to One Direction, but there was always this like instinctive, primal urge not to like Harry. I like convinced myself that he was just conceited and he was not even that cute. He was overrated. He was overrated because all the other girls liked him. Personally, I loved Niall, still do. I refused to like him because I wanted to be different. That's a part of myself that I have to battle to this day. That's just the demon that I carry with me. Fast forward to today, I love Harry Styles. I love his music, and I, importantly for this video, love his styles. Shut up. I dare say I am a Harry. So I'm going to become a Harry. I plan on recreating some looks based off of Harry Styles album covers. Like I alluded to in my figure drawing video, I love the Harry's House outfit, especially the shirt, and I've been dying to have a reason to make it. Here it is. I'm also going to be making the Fine Line outfit because I love those pants. I adore them, I dare say. I will be omitting HS1 for presumably obvious reasons. Before I get started on either of those, to truly become Harry Styles, I have to start with the basemost layer of this outfit. That makes it sound like I'm going to wear his underwear. I'm not going to wear his underwear. I'm going to wear his skin. Got some skin here. Got some skin in the game. This is kind of shiny, so I'll probably use this side. So I guess I didn't elaborate what I'm doing exactly. Gosh, it's so stupid. I'm gonna make a long sleeve bodysuit of this flesh colored fabric and sort of tat it up. Really because it's funny and because I wanna practice my skills with stretch fabrics. And that's how I really get good at anything. It's just for kicks and giggles. This fabric stretches a lot one way and not much the other way. I think that's called a 50% stretch.
Nice!
From what I understand. I should want the stretchy part going horizontal and then the not stretchy part going vertical. And for like reference, I have a one-piece bathing suit that I know fits me. I only got 1 yard of this, but it stretches, so probably, right? Step into the light. All right, I'm gonna mark a little bit lower than the the crotch. I wasn't gonna wait because I'm going on vacation like tomorrow. I wanted to tat him up while I was on my way there. So, you know, urgency.
I know I didn't explain it a bunch, but I just cut your basic leotard pattern and sewed it together at the sides and the shoulders. Very simple, but I was unknowingly forsaking the plans that I had made already.
Oh, I'm so stupid. This is the shiny side. I wanted the matte side on the outside. Actually, this might be closer to my skin tone than the matte side is. At least that's what I'm gonna tell myself, because I really don't wanna fix it. I'm just gonna keep driving.
Nice!
Trying to think of another pun, but I can't. I'm just gonna add sleeves. You can let it go. Me taking off my skin to reveal my clothes. Woo. I'm really about to just guess on these sleeves because they stretch anyway. So, Stay tuned if that works out for me. Trying to make MICARAH TEWERS proud. I'm shocked. I literally bullcrapped the heck out of this. I guess stretch really does make up for mistakes. I did this on purpose. I made them intentionally too long. I'm gonna cut to where there's like a little triangle and it hooks to my like finger, you know, just so that the sleeve stays stretched out. So it looks as close to skin as possible. I'm gonna do that and then I'll probably just be done for now because I really need to go pack because it's like nighttime and we leave like at noon tomorrow. Anyway, this is going swimmingly thus far. I hope I don't ruin it.
So while I was on vacation, still pre-bangs, as you can see, I had a moment to drop a call to my best friend Anna. Don't worry, you'll meet her later. And while I had a wonderful chat with her, I started doodling away on Harry. I was looking at some reference photo.
Yeah, he's nope, not a psychopath. What's the other word? Telepath.
Then I return home, officially banged up, and continue on harrifying myself.
Gertrude's about to get her first tattoo. Pride and Prejudice is on Netflix.
So I had already drawn one of the hip leaf things on one of the sides, so I reflected out onto the other side. I think it looks pretty good, but it's not going to be visible, so I really didn't need to do it. Anyway, I moved on to the centerpiece, the moth. At least I think it's a moth, not a butterfly, right? Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me for not knowing. I'm 99% sure it's a moth. Anyway, I was feeling a little daunted by this little guy, but I focused just on the details as I was going and trying to space things out properly. Didn't even realize how well it was coming along.
Oh my gosh. I'm so gonna mess up the other side.
Then I crossed my fingers and moved on to wing number 2. And after I finished the moth, I added a few more tattoos. I definitely didn't get all of them, but I got the idea across, and I did more than you even see in this video. Don't get mad. Don't get mad that I missed your favorite Harry Styles tattoo. It's just sort of, invasive to try and find all of them.
As you can see, I'm still in the middle of this pantsuit project that should have been out like a few weeks ago. So go watch that. It's shaping up to be one of my best videos yet, so. But I had to take a break from this, even though it's way more urgent than this, because Anna and Ava are coming over today so that we can all try the Grimace milkshake together. And I wanted to welcome them to my house with a little Harry-themed surprise. Basically, I wanted to surprise them coming out of this little door. Okay, it's like an inside joke between us three. I don't know how they're gonna feel about me making it an outside joke, but so basically that's a door that's underneath my stairs. One day they were over here and Ava said, I like this little room that's underneath your stairs. And I said, oh yeah, that's where Harry lives. In reference to Harry Potter, right? Because he lives under the stairs. And she went, oh, no way? Watermelon sugar? No. It was so stupid. We constantly make reference to Harry Styles living in that room. I told him to come and to just come straight upstairs and sit down and then tell me when they're ready and I'll come down. But I'm actually gonna cram myself into that closet. I don't know how I'm gonna fit. It's gonna be so uncomfortable. But one time when I was little, me and my sister were playing hide and seek, and I hid behind one of our TVs, and I was crammed in there. My foot fell asleep immediately, and I was there for probably the better half of an hour because I was so committed. I'm afraid that if the door is just the path to the door is completely clear, I just know that Ava will come down and see the door and try to do the bit and be like, oh, let's say hi to Harry, and then try to open the door, but I'm in there. And so we give away the surprise. We had a bit of a false alarm sort of situation. I don't know when they're gonna get here, but I'm just gonna hide until they do get here because I'm too scared and I don't want to ruin the surprise. I think this place might be haunted. It's a video of the little girl that farts and pretends it's a ghost. I'm scared. try this one more time. Alright. Little Harry themed surprise. I wonder how Harry's doing. So, that's what I do. Into the actual clothes that I wanted to make. The first thing that I want to make, I props. As I said in my figure drawing video, I really wanted to make the Harry's house outfit. I don't think that I'm going to try my hand at making jeans today. The shirt is what I'm interested in. I hope I'm not allergic to watermelon because I don't eat it that often and my parents are not home. I've already drawn out the pieces that I think I need. I don't have measurements on these. I actually thought that the best idea would be to get just a basic shirt shape from Gertrude. Then dissect it until it looks like the pieces that are on this page. So let's try that.
I started by drawing generally where those ribbons were going to lay. I measured them with a ruler. I don't remember how far apart they were, but I want to say it was like 3 inches. Anyway, I took the side front piece and drew where I wanted the strip of buttons to lay, and I cut along one side of that. Then I cut off the shirt piece that is above the topmost ribbon. These pattern pieces are good as is, but I have to make the bottom section much wider. I absolutely diced that baby up and splay it across that paper and trace around it. And I folded it in half and trimmed the edges to make sure that it's symmetrical, and now I officially have a pattern and can cut that baby out of my fabric.
So, got all my pieces cut. So the Harry's house shirt, there's like little ribbons, but the bottom part is just like gathered into it. But it's gathered in 3 places. I'm gonna gather all 3 of the places at once so that I can make sure that it's even, and then I can stitch down the ribbons. I think I'll do that by hand. I want to make sure that the lines are straight and they're where they need to be. So I'm going to use one of my special markers. The purple end is disappearing ink and the blue end is water soluble. I'll draw a line and it'll come out blue and you're like, oh no, you've stained this white fabric. But once you run it under water, it comes out. I'm going to use a ruler or a meter stick to get a straight line and try and make them even. It'll be good. It'll be great. And I'm so excited, and let's do it.
To make the gathers, you're going to go over each of those lines with the longest stitch on the machine. Then you're going to have to refill your bobbin because you ran out like halfway through the last line and you didn't realize it. Then finish her up. I make sure I have the top pieces all in order. Then I can use them as a guide for how much to gather the bottom pieces. The answer is a lot. You just have to take one of the threads hanging off the side of the shirt and pull on it. Actually, getting the tension right takes a little bit of practice. I found the trick is to really pull the fabric along the thread rather than try to pull the thread through the fabric. Then attach each of the gathered pieces to the matching top pieces and sew them together. Run out of bobbin again. Check how you look in the camera and then finish that.
This is exactly how I want it, so I'm just gonna like serge the everywhere so that everything like stays in place. Okay, there's a number of things that I can do from this point on.
Tell you what I can't do. Frame a camera. What the frick? What? My head is cut off. My head is cut off. I'm looking at my camera folds out. I can see the screen. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I need to cover the gathers with ribbon, but I think the next thing I'm gonna do is add the hem. I'm not gonna hem this under. I'm gonna make a separate piece and then sew it onto the bottom and fold it over and iron it. And attached to that, I'm gonna have the facing for like the buttons and the buttonholes. I don't wanna have to make a whole new pattern for it, so I'm just gonna take the pattern pieces I had for the front and the back and then just cut off the section at the bottom, cut the facing off of the side as well. So I think it'll be sick.
Pro tip, trim the seam allowance before you flip that hem right side out, especially snip a little piece out of the corners. That will make them actually look like a right angle when you turn them out. You also might want to take like a flathead screwdriver to the inside. Then I pin that hem piece where it needs to go so it doesn't go shimmying about when I settle down to hand sew it.
So this is the shape that we're in. I have added the collar. I got a little bit of a clip of me making the pattern for it. Hello? That is it. That is it. I ran out of storage on my SD card, so I just didn't film. I added this collar and I hand stitched down the hem. So I think that I can finish it today. I'm gonna start with the sleeves and then I gotta add buttons and buttonholes, sew down the ribbon, and yeah. But I'm gonna start with the sleeves, and this time I'm not gonna like draft out a pattern because they're puff sleeves. And puff sleeves are one of the items that I feel pretty confident bullcrapping. It's not an exact science with a puff sleeves. Yeah. And I'll see you on the
So for the sleeves, you're gonna cut out a normal short sleeve pattern, but just enormous. And then you're gonna do the same little gathering trick at the top of the sleeve. And then you're gonna sew that gathered bit to the sleeve holes. She's an angel. Ooh, woohoo! You can stop at this point if you're just looking for an angel costume for your church Christmas pageant. You'll be the prettiest angel in the whole congregation. But I personally am going to carry on. I need the sleeves a little shorter, so I just mark where I want them to hit. I trimmed to that point, and I gathered the bottoms into the sleeve cuffs that you can see me making here. Then I started on the buttonholes with my machine. The buttonhole foot allows you to measure how wide you want the hole to be, but I like to do a little practice one to make sure that it's wide enough for the buttons that I'm using. And it is. So I do all my buttonholes in more or less the same size. Then I settle down on the couch with a sweet creature at my feet to sew on all the buttons. Then the very last cherry on top is that ribbon, but I didn't like how wide this ribbon lace was, so I folded the edge over and ironed it. Then I sat down for quite some time and hand stitched all this ribbon onto her. Now, if you'll remember, I was technically correct that I was not going to be making jeans today, but I also didn't know that I would be haphazardly altering jeans either. This is as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. I got these like quite large men's jeans from my local Goodwill where they were playing Adore You as I was trying them on. Can you hear it? That's gotta mean something. Come on, come on. I figured they'd be sufficiently baggy for the Harry's house outfit if I could make the waist fit me. So I did my best. I have never altered jeans before, so please don't copy me. I had some struggles with how bulky the jeans are at my machine. So I did a lot of it by hand, and once I finished, I was plumb tuckered out. But the Harry's house outfit was finally done, but you'll have to wait a little longer for the reveal.
Now I'm going to start on the fine line outfit. I'm going to start with the pants because I'm going to use the same pattern that I used for the pants of the jumpsuit that I made 2 weeks ago. It's a free pattern from Mood Society if you really wanted to make this. I'll link it in the description. It's the Live pant. But I am going to make a few changes to the pattern to make them look like the pants on the fine line album cover. Because these have just like a normal fly, like jeans, but the fine line pants sort of have like a panel that comes up and then it's like buttoned. So I'm gonna have to add that completely. Let me go look at a picture of it. This is like the one room in my house where I don't get okay, let's see these pants. Come on, Harry, let me see your pants. Yeah, yep, Okay, so they do in fact have belt loops and a waistband, but it's disguised by this panel. I have no idea how I'm gonna do that, but stay tuned, because I'll probably figure it out. Don't you call him baby. I have never been so confused at how a pair of pants work before. Like the continuous pant leg, there is no seam connecting it to the little panel that comes up with like the buttons on it. So it has to be connected to the pant leg. From here, straight up, what the frick? Okay, I'm looking at the pants. Right about there. And I'm just gonna like cut here. I'm not gonna cut this off. I'm just gonna cut a line here. But we have to have a little duplicate situation. So I need to cut 2 of this section right here. This, my brain is actually operating. This piece needs to go up higher than the rest of it. As wide as waistband. Okay, I need the duplicate that's gonna go underneath for just like fastening purposes, but I also need like a lining for the main fold over piece. I don't think that the words that I'm saying make sense, so stick with me. I'm gonna try and do anything with this.
So I made these pants and I'm still confused watching this, but if I really must explain, I can try my best. So I cut out the front pant pattern pieces, but I'm going to cut the front middle part higher. Then you're going to trace that section of the pant. Then you're going to cut 2 matching sets of that piece. Then you're going to cut another matching set, but this time without the length of that rectangle that comes up. So the 2 sets of fabric with the extra length into 2 pieces. You know, are you watching? Because you're not going to be able to discern any meaning from the words I'm saying right now. This is the pant leg. Cut a straight line from the rectangle down to where you stop the duplicate pieces. Then you're going to sew the shorter duplicate pieces to the non-rectangle side of that gash. They're going to hide behind the long rectangles when it's done. Pin the right sides of the 2 long rectangle duplicates to the middle part of the front pants. Sew around those 3 rectangles and then flip them inside out to make that magical little panel with the gold buttons. You're so golden.
I am so tired. I spent so much time this day making these freaking pants. You have no idea how badly I wanted to not try and just make it sort of look like it enough so that I could be like, okay, these pants, they're done. But I just hear this voice in my head that I just have to do it right. So I added pockets. I doubled up the material of the pants because it was like a thin white cotton and you could totally see everything through it. Did everything that I didn't want to do. As of filming this, I still haven't finished the pants. I sure hope they turn out well because I'm operating as if I'm going to wear these every day of my life.
So this is where we are in the pants. I'm pleased with my problem solving skills. Now I'm going to clean up here. I'm going to go upstairs, that is. I'm going to eat dinner. I'm going to sit down and watch some TV, have a bit of a laugh. And when I'm done there, I'll turn down the lights and have a good slumber before waking up tomorrow morning and coming right back down here and doing it all again. And just like I said, I'm getting to work on a waistband today. I'm going to sew the belt loops into a little tube and I'm going to sew all the pieces of the waistband together here. Now that I've done all that, I trim that seam allowance on the belt loops, get it a little safety pin, and use that to guide one end of that tube through the other side so that the seam is in the inside. And I do that on the other one too. Then I iron them flat and fold and cut them into thirds so that I have 6 belt loops. Then I iron open the seams of the waistband. I actually realized that I had made a mistake here, but it was so easily fixable. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but I did sew those 2 halves of the waistband together and turn it inside out, iron it down, and then I sewed it onto the pants that we have now made. I pinned them and pulled up that panel so that I would see the part of the waistband that is visible. Then I placed the belt loops from there. I pricked myself a bit while doing this, but it's no big deal, right?
Oh no!
Wrong. I describe that loop and move on to another. This is not the only time that happened either. I've never drawn more blood while working on a project than these stark white pants.
This is the shape we're in. They're incredibly long, but they are kind of long on the album, so we might not even need to hem them that much. But that's really all I have to do is hem them and then add the buttons. So that's cool. I really made these in like 2 days. I need to go to Walmart to get the buttons because I don't have gold buttons of that size as far as
I'm ready if you are.
Cool!
These are the buttons I got from Walmart. I think they're a pretty good choice for the pants. I spread them out evenly on that button panel so that I could see where to put the buttonholes. This is the moment that happens in every one of my projects that it actually starts looking right. I was really excited, and I set to starting those buttonholes.
I'll look like I'm actually holding a mic, which is really cute. I have a few things I need to get done today, and I love a good list. So I have my whiteboard out. I have the only expo marker that kind of works, so you might not be able to see it, but I will today. Remember when I said, oh, I made these pants in 2 days? My machine pooped out while I was doing buttonholes. That sucked. So I'm having to do the rest of the buttonholes by hand. I have 2 left, and then I have to add the buttons. But that'll probably be my last thing I do, but I'll write it first. I also need to hem the pants. Then I want to start and finish the shirt. Shirt. That's mostly it in it. Really only 3 of them, so this was unnecessary. And also, you can't read it. Can you read it? I can. So, doesn't really matter. Okay, let's get going on this shirt. Oh, remember my jumpsuit video? If you're a loyal subscriber. Remember when I was rating the different kinds of pinks, and I was sort of going off on this one because it looked sort of like corporate Barbie. That's what I'm using for the shirt. Ugh. Yeah, and as far as the pattern, I might have one, but I really gotta look. 1 second. I have a lot of these patterns. They're all vintage, and they're all secondhand. They're my great-grandmother's. These are fire. I need to make more of them. That's almost kind of close. I guess I'm gonna try my luck with this one. I hope it has all the pieces.
So if you're wanting to make this shirt, you're going to need to find yourself a vintage women's shirt pattern, and you're really going to want to just glaze over it. Just do the steps that you want to do. You don't need facings or anything, and definitely don't do anything you don't feel like doing, because nothing matters. Just buy the shirt. I'm sure you can find one.
So I'm rewatching this video as it goes, you know. This next clip, I'm going to show you the progress that I've made on the shirt. And as I rewatch this, I have at this point reached a low point mentally, and you may be able to sense that as you watch this next clip. You may be able to sense a little bit of tension seeping out of me. And I just want you to know that is not a normal way to feel. So we're gonna watch this together. I'm gonna check in with you right after it's over. To sort of unpack what's going on, because it gets a little intense. So don't click off because of the aggression that I'm exhibiting. Just wait, because it will get better, and I'll be right here on the other side.
If you'll recall how badly I wanted not to try on the pants, and then ended up putting in like so much effort, so much so that I am still hand stitching buttonholes onto it. All that effort. I believe I have successfully made up for it in the making of the shirt. It doesn't have buttons, it's not hemmed, it doesn't have cuffs. I've just rolled up the sleeves, and the sleeves are rolled up in the photo. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. Like it doesn't have buttons, but it's open in the picture. It doesn't have cuffs, but the sleeves are rolled up in the picture. Plus this thing has been giving me grief all day, and it's like the one item that I'm like not interested of all the ones that I'm making, you know? And so why do all that? And it still looks fine. And I've already put in more effort than I needed to. The sleeve holes were crazy small, and I had already sewn on all the sleeves, and I tried it on, and it like was so tight, like it was cutting on my circulation. And so I went back and I seam ripped it, and I cut the armhole wider, and I opened it, I made the sleeves bigger, and that's really the extent of it that I want to do. I'm not interested enough in this shirt to go any further, but it still looks fine and dandy.
Okay, and just take like a deep breath. I had a lot of feelings, and I didn't express them in the healthiest way, but I did recognize it, and later that day I cleared up the way that I was feeling.
I know earlier I was complaining about having to do these buttonholes by hand because they take a really long time. But I was just sort of working away at them just now. And I was thinking, this is actually pretty good. Like for a moment, my stress spiked while I was doing this because I'm wasting all this time doing these buttonholes and I should just be worried about getting it done as fast as possible. And I realized that I've just been stressing about getting all these outfits done. One, I have so much time to get this video done. It took 2.5 weeks until this needs to come out, so I don't need to be done yet. But I just like to be stressed, I guess, because I just never let myself have a break. Not really healthy. I just had to take a moment while doing this, this hobby that I love, and just sort of remind myself that hey, you don't have to do this, You did this because you wanted to. You did this because it seemed fun and kind of silly, and you love sewing. Not because you needed something to stress about. Not because you need another thing that's causing you anxiety. So just don't. Up until this point in the video, I've been really stressed. I don't know if you could tell. Something about saying all this out loud while just doing this slow, repetitive motion. I literally feel my chest loosening up. So highly recommend that. Check back in with you when I finish. I was just on my way to buy these for you. I don't remember what I came in here for. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing. I even encourage you to like this video if you, in fact, did like it. But if you do, be sure to leave a comment that's a really good insult so as not to inflate my ego too much. I'd really appreciate that. This is probably my favorite video that I've made thus far, and I really want to do more stuff like it, so I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. This is in fact the end of the video, so thank you for sticking around. Until next time, treat people with kindness. I'm here to take my medicine. I think I just realized that I have to make another Harry costume for this video.